Hey Physique Freaks, how's it going? Coach Scott here. Today I'm going to be sharing how to lose the last 10 pounds and get ripped after 40. These are the exact same strategies that I'm going to be applying during the next 4 to 6 weeks to drop the 8 pounds that I gained during the vacationing that I did this past month, in addition to about 2 more pounds to just really get crazy lean and shredded before I begin another muscle building phase that will extend throughout the fall and winter months. I'm going to be documenting my journey here on this channel, so make sure that you are subscribed and hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. Dropping that last 10 pounds of fat makes a dramatic visual impact on the appearance of your physique. It's going from good to great. It goes from carrying a little bit of lower belly fat, some love handle fat, and some lower back fat to having abs that pop and to having chiseled details all over your physique and bringing out that vascularity in your arms and shoulders. Basically, going from a physique that looks pretty good, a little bit better than average, to turning heads when you take your shirt off at the beach. Losing this last 10 pounds of fat and going from lean to ripped begins with your mindset. You've got to be decisive and commit to shredding this fat during the next 4 to 6 weeks. You need to get it done and over with so you can move on. I see way too many people drag on this process way longer than it needs to be, and a lot of it really comes down to the fact that we do look good. I mean, you only have 10 pounds to lose. Most people are gonna think you look awesome. When you're out with friends, they're letting loose and everything. They're gonna be persuading you, come on, you look great, just have a drink, have a piece of cake, have a burger with me and all that stuff. It's very easy to justify it. You can tell yourself, you know, I do look pretty good, but doing so, you really end up dragging this process on a lot longer than it needs to be. So the most important thing that you need to do right out of the gates is to commit to this goal and to recognize that the short-term sacrifice is going to pay bigger dividends in the big picture. You're going to get this done and over with quickly, not drag it on any longer than it has to be, and get on building and maintaining your physique. You really need to be diligent tracking your food intake throughout the process of dropping this last 10 pounds. I highly recommend that you use MyFitnessPal to track the food that you consume. It's way easier than most people make it out to be. I do have a video, I'm going to share a link down below. You can click it up here as well. That shows you how easy it is to use MyFitnessPal and track your meals. You really want to make this process as easy and simplified as you possibly can, and it really comes down to keeping simple structure. I have basically, whether I'm trying to lose fat or build muscle or maintain my physique, there are certain meals that I consume each and every day, usually 2 to 3 meals. First meal is usually a kefir shake, second meal is usually plain Greek yogurt with some frozen berries, and the third meal is usually comes in the form of eggs, whether it's eggs and toast, an egg omelet, or some egg bites. I get my variety at dinner time, and usually I have about 7 to 10 meals that I will rotate throughout the, I guess, 4 to 6 week training phase. But again, it's usually all the time. I usually have 7 to 10 go-to meals, and all these meals are saved in MyFitnessPal, so it's just a matter of clicking a button. It's way easier, and it makes tracking damn near effortless when you're consuming 2 to 3 of the same meals each and every day, and you have 7 to 10 dinner meals that you are choosing from throughout your cutting phase. It just makes it so much easier. So do whatever you can to make this as mindless and effortless on yourself as possible. Again, don't leave it up to guesswork when it comes to guessing how much you're consuming, and don't leave it up to chance by not having meals planned in advance and just kind of winging it as the day goes on. That just sets you up for disaster. So many people, I can't tell you how many times I've heard from people who they haven't eaten in a few hours, they're preparing their dinner, and they just start snacking because they're so hungry and just not prepared in advance. So now let's talk about how much you should eat and the macronutrient breakdown. I do have a calculator tool on my website. You can click on it up here or down in the description below. Basically, you're just going to enter in your age, height, weight. I highly recommend you use the moderate activity level. Even if you're working out 6 days a week and you're highly active, I'd rather you kind of underestimate how much you burn in a day rather than overestimate. Again, this is just a starting point, a base to work with, and then we pay attention to the feedback as you're going through this process. Feedback based on how your weight is changing throughout this process, how you're feeling, energy, and all that kind of stuff. So the calculator will tell you your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure, and what you're going to do is subtract 500 calories from that. Again, a good starting point. You can begin a bit more aggressive, especially if you're like me, just coming off a vacation, a holiday where I'm just not as hungry. As I typically am, I don't have much of an appetite, so I can be a bit more aggressive in the beginning, usually about 700 to 800 calories less than my TDEE. You have a less chance of losing muscle mass during this stage in the cutting phase, and then slowly bump up those calories as you go along. So maybe you start with an aggressive 700 to 800 calorie deficit, and you finish with a 400 to 500 calorie deficit towards the end. It's also kind of moving you towards maintenance as you're going along here as well, which is something that I prefer as well. It kind of sets the stage for a long-term success. In terms of macronutrients, I like to roll with the gold standard of 1 gram of protein per pound body weight, and I like to spread that protein out throughout each meal. So say I have 150 grams of protein that I'm aiming to have throughout the day, consuming 5 meals for the day, I'm gonna have about 30 grams of protein at each meal. Fat, I like to multiply that by 0.3 grams per pound body weight. I try not to have fat around my workouts, so if I'm working out midday, I'll try to have the fat earlier on the day and then before the evening, before I go to bed. Carbohydrates, it's the remaining. Whatever I have remaining in terms of calories, I'll have that, and I tend to have most of my carbs around my my workout. So a bit before, probably about 20% of my carbs before my workout and 30% of my carbs after my workout. Consistency is key. I would absolutely love to see you remain in this caloric deficit every day throughout this 4 to 6 week cutting phase. If you can avoid refeeds, that would absolutely kick butt. If you absolutely need them, try to keep it to no more than 2 to 3 throughout the next 4 to 6 weeks. So basically once every 14 days or so. But if you can go with this short-term sacrifice, knowing that it's going to pay huge dividends in the end, it would absolutely help you get through this a lot quicker so you can move on to the maintenance and muscle building phase. Now let's talk about weight training, and I recommend that you hit the gym 4 to 6 days per week depending on your schedule, lifestyle, and personal preferences. I recommend that you get in a variety of rep ranges. For most of us bros over 40, usually don't recommend going below 6 repetitions, but having a movement that you're performing 6 to 8 repetitions, most of your movements around the 8 to 12 reps, and some exercises that you are 12 plus repetitions, getting in some good variety there, stimulating all the muscle fibers. The role of weight training during a fat loss phase is to preserve your muscle mass, and this is where the important role of training volume comes into play. You don't want your body adapting to the training volume. So it's important that you gradually increase your training volume throughout this fat loss phase as you're shedding your last 10 pounds of fat. There's a variety of training splits that you can follow to spread out that training volume throughout the week. I'm coming off a low volume upper-lower split where I'm in the gym 6 days per week, and shifting to an upper-lower push-pull leg split where I'm bumping up the volume, and then I'm going to shift to a different split where I'm able to increase the volume even more without hindering my ability to recover. If you want to follow the exact same workouts that I follow each month, head on over to the Jacked After 40 Club. I'll include a link up above as well as in the description below. Now for cardio, I usually just recommend walking once or twice a day. I love walking my dog, Chief. We usually get out first thing in the morning and then later on in the evening to wind down. It's great for active recovery. It's great for stress relief. I find it just really puts your body in an optimal state for fat loss and muscle building. That was great timing for the train to roll by there. As talking about cardio, I have found in the past when I've done traditional cardio, like biking, stair climbing, jogging, whenever I've gone through a cutting phase, whether it's been just looking good for the beach, preparing for a photo shoot, or contest prep, it just kind of ran me into the ground. It had a negative impact on my recovery, it decreased my performance in the gym, and it just made me want to sit on my ass all the time. And that kind of leads me to the next point of lifestyle, and that is to just live a fun and active lifestyle. Yeah, you're making sacrifices during this process here, but you want to live life, you want to have fun, get out for adventures, do stuff that you enjoy, whether it's hiking, shooting hoops with your kids, tennis, whatever, all fun activities, paddle boarding, kayaking, all that fun stuff. Just live a fun and active life outside of the gym. That's really what this is all about. Getting in shape, getting the best shape of your life is about living life to the fullest. So live a fun and active lifestyle throughout this process. Don't just feel like you need to be married married to the gym in order to get ripped abs and lose this last 10 pounds over the age of 40. And one of the most important things that you can do throughout this process is to make sleep your number one priority, trying to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night and sticking with a consistent wake-sleep schedule. Really plays a crucial role in your energy, your mood, your recovery, your appetite. It just affects absolutely everything that you do. So make sleep the number one priority. And that's my advice to help you lose that last 10 pounds of fat and get ripped abs after 40. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. And I'd love to hear from you down in the comments section below, sharing your thoughts, any questions that you may have, anything that you'd like me to address in upcoming videos. Again, I'll be documenting this entire process of shedding my last 10 pounds here on this channel. So if you haven't already done so, subscribe today and hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. Before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Jacked After 40. Have yourself an absolutely amazing day. Catch you in the next video.